Welcome to part two of what I've now called the VDub build. Made some pretty good progress actually on both of the kits. The hard top has had the whole of the chassis put together now. We've got the tyre in the front, and we've also done some extra detailing on the bottles in the front. I've used the Tamiya clear on those. Blue one on that one and the red one on that one, just to try and simulate different fluids. We've got the fuel tank painted as well. We've got the little cap on. I'm not sure whether you're going to see that or not, but it does actually have VW written into it, which is kind of cool. The interior on this is all finished as well. So that's looking good. We've also got the whole of the engine in as well. We've got the wheels on board. Now these ones do turn about, which is great. These wheels are actually stuck in place. The fit on those is so tight, it's actually unbelievable. And as you can see there, we've also got the rims painted the same colour as the body. So that's looking good. And this is the body of the car, and what it's looking like. I'm not sure whether you're going to see it on camera, but you might be able to see a little bit of it coming through there. The metallic. It's hard to actually tell in person. You can actually see the metallic on that quite nicely, but that's looking good. I just need to give that another coat of clear lacquer, and then once that's done I'll be able to just sort of buff that down. So that's coming on quite nicely. The convertible has had the gloss lacquer put on it as well. Again, this needs just another coat on there, and then that'll be done. I haven't actually got the wheels put onto the this one yet. This is the convertible interior. Yeah, so I haven't put the wheels on there yet, but I've decided I am actually going to leave those completely chrome. That's what they look like, and I think, to be honest, that they're actually contrast with the body quite nicely, so I'm actually going to leave those that colour. But we've also got the hood, or sorry, the boot lid on this done as well, and you can see the shine on that. That's quite nice. But again, you can't really see the metallic pigment in this, I don't think, from there. You might be able to pick it up just a little bit, but it's not looking too bad. It's coming along quite nicely. So I'm just going to work on the chassis of the convertible and get the wheels put onto that, so I can get the chassis to the same point as this one. There's just a few more things to go on the hardtop. I've got the VW signs done in white for the rear mud flaps, and we've also got the windscreen wipers there done as well. But they're just all bits and pieces that need to go on when the actual body's gone onto, or sorry, the shell has gone onto the body. So as soon as I've made some more progress on this, I will come back to you. Welcome back. We've now got both of the VWs built, and they're looking pretty cool. This one's only just been finished. Some of the stuff is actually still drying on it at the moment. This one I managed to get finished yesterday, but I thought I'd show them both at the same time. Build wise, to be quite honest, I actually preferred building the convertible rather than the hardtop. The reason being is I just found that the parts for this fitted together a lot better than they did with the hardtop. In saying that though, this one, for all the extra details that it's got on it, like the seat belt buckles being moulded onto the seats and a few other bits and pieces like that, it was quite disappointing really to find out that there's no sort of spare tyre or fuel tank or anything in underneath the bonnet like there is in the red one. So the bonnet on this one is permanently glued down, so that is actually a bit of a shame, to be quite honest, because otherwise that would have actually set that off. So I think Revell have actually let everybody down on that one, to be quite honest, because they just haven't bothered putting that extra little bit of detail in it, considering all the other details that they've put on it. They've, you know, as far as I'm concerned, they've kind of let everybody down on that one really. But in saying that, it's still a good car. I still enjoyed building it. The other problem that I have with this one is the fact that we can't get the boot open. It will open to a certain point there, so you can open it up by about 1 millimetre, and that's it. The actual hinge mechanism on the inside of this car isn't that good, to be quite honest. I suppose maybe if I'd have spent a bit of time trying to build another hinge for it, I could have got it to open, but the clearance really, to be quite honest, wouldn't have been that good anyway, because you've got this sort of soft top cover going over the back of it, so you wouldn't have been able to open it that far anyway, so you know, that's a bit of a shame. But apart from that, that's the what the underside is looking like. So it's not looking too bad. And then the interior, I think is pretty cool actually. So I've gone ahead and done this in a right-hand drive. We've got the decal on there for the speedo and the radio, and then we've also got the decals in there too for the dashboard. I didn't bother putting the other decals on. You got decals that simulate the chrome trim that go down the bonnet and down the sides of the car. I didn't bother putting those on because they looked a little bit ugly, to be quite honest, so I just thought I'd leave it as is. The other thing is you've got the seat belts as well down the inside of the car. I'm not sure whether you're going to pick that up, but the actual buckle itself I've done in gold, not gold, sorry, in silver, to try and simulate a little bit of chrome on that. But yeah, she's a good looking car actually. I do like it. And the other thing that I do like about this one is the fact that with the rear lights, let's get that into shot. With the rear lights, they actually do give you a chrome piece that goes on the inside to help lighten those up a little bit. The other thing that's missing from there is the registration plate. I just haven't bothered putting those on, to be quite honest. I just don't want to. And then we've also got the one at the front there for the registration plate, and again, I'm not going to be bothering with that one. But that's a good little car to build. As I say, I did enjoy it. There's a couple of things on there that I personally feel that Revell could have done a little bit better. But hey ho, you know, these things happen. And this one is the hardtop, which is the one by Tamiya. As you can see, we've actually got the spare wheel in there. I'm having to prop the boot up on the windscreen because otherwise that will just shut down. The other thing with this is once it's actually shut down, it's very difficult to get it back open again. You have to sort of go in underneath the bumper to sort of like lift it up. So you have to put like a little piece of metal or something up there to push it up to get it open. But you know, as I say in there, we've got the fuel tank in there. Let's see if we can get this spare tyre out for you with a pair of tweezers. Whoop, there we go. So in there we've got the fuel tank, and we've got some different sort of tanks in there, one for the water and one for the brake fluid, I would assume. Well, that's the way that I've done it. So let's just get that back in and get the That's it, that's in place. The other thing as well with this one is the fact that they do give you metal transfer decals for the VW sign, and there's also one on the back for the 1300. The other thing that I've done to this, to some degree of success, I'm not sure whether it's going to be picked up on camera or not, but the rear windows, I decided to sort of blacken those down a bit, really, with the Tamiya Smoke, you know, which is the X19, just to sort of, you know, lighten those, darken those down a little bit. So that's pretty good. Sorry, excuse me. As I say, with this car, there was a few things on it that didn't sort of go too well, really. The actual whole build on this one is a little bit flimsy compared to the Revell one. But nonetheless, it's still a good build. I've still enjoyed building this one. That's the back end. Now, again, with the boot on this one, although we can get this open, I've got it at an angle, resting on the rear of the car to keep it open. The hinge on this one is quite loose, actually, and it does make the lid sort of slope down the body a bit. I'll show you that in a second. But that's what the inside of that car is looking like. And we've also got the little mud flaps on the back of the car as well. But if I just try and get this back into position, there you go. You can see there that it just flips down. So you've got to kind of hold it in place to get it to stay there. And again, with this one, I haven't actually bothered putting the registration plates on. But if we lift the car up, you can see there again, it's slipped down again. But if we look there, we've also got the second metal transfer there for the 1300 sign, which is great. Now, the one thing that I find a little bit annoying with this car is the fact that they don't supply you with a chrome backing for the lights to help light them shine up as they did on the convertible. So that's a bit of a shame. But apart from that, everything else on this car is looking okay. I do like it. You know, it's a nice little car. So if we just turn that over, you can see there all the detail that's on the bottom as well. So yeah, that's both of the Beetles out of the way. Still working on the Mustang at the moment. I'm on the decal stage for that now. I've put a couple of layers of gloss lacquer over the top of the paint. Now I'm just doing the decals, and then once the decals are done, I'll then just put the final layer of lacquer on that, and I'll show you an update on that fairly soon. But that's about it for the moment, guys. I've enjoyed building these cars. It makes a change from building Starships, and the lacquer paints, the metallic acrylic paints on this have actually taught me a lesson or two, and I just got to thank Chris Cortell again for the help that he's given me with these paints, because I've never used them before. So Chris has actually imparted a lot of good advice and some good skills on how to use these particular acrylic paints, because they are different to the Tamiya ones. So Chris, thank you very much for your help on this. It is very much appreciated. So that's about it, guys. I'll catch up with you in part 2 of the Mustang build. Until then, thanks for watching, and please do take care.